It's coming up to 20 minutes to 9. The King will celebrate his 76th birthday today by opening 2 major food hubs designed to redistribute tons of surplus food to schools, food banks and community centres.
These are part of the King's Coronation Food project, which was started a year ago. This with the aim of investing in a food hub network across the UK. Our
correspondent Francis Reid is at one of the facilities this morning and can tell us much more about it. Now, look, Francis, you know what this is like. You go to an outside broadcast location and you say, yeah, and the editor's like, give me something brilliant, show me, show and tell. You've shown us an empty box, Francis, make it better.
Bear with me.
OK.
Because welcome to Deptford, because this will be, eventually, a massive freezer. So use your imagination and think of all the food that you are going to be able to fit in that. And that is really, really important because this is all part of a new Coronation Food Hub, all made possible by funding from the Coronation Food Project, which was set up by the King a year ago. And if we come over here, let's have a look over here, we can see that they are setting up for those first anniversary celebrations of the Coronation Food Project. So the volunteers are currently setting out all of the food and the different things that would have been wasted if they hadn't saved all this food. So that's what they're doing. And the Felix project that they work for is one of the many organisations that will benefit from a network of food hubs so it can serve more people. It redistributes a lot of the food so that it's not wasted. Let's take a quick look at what they do.
It sounds bananas, but everything in this warehouse would have been chucked away. Instead, the food comes here to the Felix Project's depot and it gets sorted out by people like Colin. He volunteers here twice a week, where tons of this stuff is sent out to charities, refuges and groups who need to feed people.
Carrots, apples, cabbages, potatoes. We put them into trays. They are then going out to community organisations. And once you're here, it's a great team, and that's the thing I think you miss when you're retired, being part of a team, and you get that again when you come and volunteer here. The fact that I can help people and I'm saving food from going into be wasted is what attracted me.
As shown by this volunteer, this is how much room their freezer has at the moment. But look at this, a new freezer, which has been made possible by the Coronation Food Project, will mean they can help so many more people. The initiative has been going for a year now. The King launched it to mark his 75th birthday. And today, on his 76th birthday, His Majesty will open its first 2 food hubs. The hope is they will aid charities like Fair Share, the Felix Project and many others in supporting communities in need.
There's about 1 in 4 families that are on the kind of breadline and need food. Being able to move depots, so we'll be moving across the road, that will mean that we can just serve so many more people. In terms of health and safety here, we haven't got enough space to bring all the food in. Our freezer capacity when we move, which will be in January, will mean that we've got 400% more capacity, freezer capacity alone. Our chilling capacity will be a lot bigger, and also the amount of food that we can get in will be a lot bigger, because there's people out there with the food and we want to be able to get to a lot more people.
The project has already saved 940 tonnes of surplus food, more than 2 million meals, and raised £15 million to run the Food Hub network across the UK. And so all this food at the Felix Project will move into the new Coronation Food Hub, just one of many organisations that will benefit.
There are due to be 10 across the country, not just the country, across the United Kingdom, so across the 4 nations, and there are 2 that are opening up. 1 here and 1 in Merseyside. So yeah, we're very privileged, we're very excited to be part of that launch, hopefully it will allow us to improve the service that we provide to other people, increase the capacity of food that we distribute.
That will mean all the hard work that goes in here will have so much more impact from next year. For what they are about to receive, they are truly, truly thankful.
It's truly amazing work, isn't it? And joining me now, very luckily, is Dame Martina Milburn from the Coronation Food Project. Thank you so much for joining us on Breakfast this morning. We really, really appreciate it. We saw the work of the Felix Project, but they're not the only ones that the Coronation Food Project is helping, are they?
No, this project is going to help hundreds, if not thousands, of charities and people throughout the country. And in our first year, we've already saved 2.2 million meals, food that just would have been wasted. We've had another 4.5 million meals donated, and this is one of 2 hubs that we're going to be opening today. It's really exciting.
Why is it so needed, both in this area, but frankly, right across the UK right now?
Because we waste too much food. It's quite simple, and the manufacturers and the distributors have worked really closely with us to identify where there's bulk in the system that can be used to help people eat good, healthy food.
This is really close to the King's heart, I know, and the King wants this to be a network. Why is it in particular important to him? Because it's kind of his birthday celebrations that he's chosen to kind of dedicate to this.
Well, I think we're very lucky in this country in that we had a king and queen who wanted to use their coronation to make a difference. So the idea of the Coronation Food Project was born, and the king, as we know, actually abhors waste. And also he understands the social good. He was very and is very concerned about the cost of living crisis and how that's affecting people. So this was a chance to put the 2 things together and make a real difference.
The grants are something that's really important with this as well, because all these different projects that exist across the country couldn't really do the work that they do without those grants, could they?
No, and there is a bit of a crisis at the moment in that people aren't supporting food banks in the way they did, and supermarkets on the whole don't have the waste at the sort of shopper level that they used to. So a lot of food banks are really struggling, and there's also an issue about access to good fresh food. And in order to distribute good fresh food, you need hubs like this. So that's what we're building to really make the difference.
Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And let's head over here now, because the Healthy Living Platform is one of the organisations that benefits from what the Felix Project does. And Carla is the Managing Director. Thank you for joining us this morning, Carla. We're so grateful to you. With the help of the Coronation Food Project, you'll be able to get so much food from the Felix Project kind of working together. Can you explain what you do and why that's so important to you?
So, Healthy Living Platform, we're all about connecting communities through food across neighbourhoods in Lambeth. And so we support around 40 community groups each week, and each of those groups will share the food out with their community. And some of those communities are children's centres, youth clubs, carers who are often unpaid carers, so groups that have got quite high need.
You've got amazing volunteers that all take part in this. The volunteer force is really quite amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I speak for many projects across the country that the volunteers are really the backbone of these projects, in being the first people that community meet and greet and receive the food from, and we couldn't do it without them, and a huge respect and shout out to them, because they do incredible things.
And this makes a huge difference to so many people, doesn't it?
Yeah, massively so. We've had one resident who was accessing some of the food through the Felix Project through the food shares, and they said that they paid off their gas debt, and they're eating more fresh fruit and veg as a result of it, and it just the security that's given them in kind of feeling more like themselves and getting back to who they are.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful to you for being with us this morning, and the celebrations here for that first anniversary will be here all day long. As you can see, really amazing and needed work.
Francis, thank you very much for that. Time now is 8:48.
I'm glad it improved from the box.
It did. It did.